know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dolphins fans from all around the world, welcome to another episode of the Two Guys with Glasses podcast. Make sure if you're in the chat right now, you're clicking like. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. We need more people in here before we get this show on the road on a Tuesday night. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Did you think about joining and becoming a Fury fan member? Well, that's open too. Click join right there. My written column is coming out soon, and only a few of you guys sent me your email address. Members, you got special gifts coming your way. Everybody else, join, become a member, then send me your home address. I will send you some free swag and gifts for being a Fury fan member. Tuaside is out here, and Tuaside is in the building. What's up, my brother? And live, yeah, live is, some people love the live. I like the live. You know, I also like the recordings, get out there after the games and just go crazy. But make sure you guys are hitting that like button, man. Get some more people in the building for tonight's show. And we're going to get rolling. We're going to talk about how ridiculously bad our Miami Dolphins are this year so far and how pathetic it is. I got G. He's in the back. He's coming out. And we're going to get to it, guys, because there was a lot of false hope. A lot of false hope out there. And people got duped. And, you know, it's a sad state of affairs. And I'm going to just go ahead and this is for Michael K, because this is what he's talking about. He loves it. He loves the live show. So
that's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits? I
don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
that's how I feel about Michael K saying we'll do it live. We will do it live. And that's what we are doing today. Look, guys, the Dolphins have been absolutely terrible. And to a side, no problem. I support the First Amendment as usual, man. We will continue to talk, and all fans are welcome so long as they're personally respectful back and forth. Robert says, I'm always keeping it a buck. I appreciate you. Chef Juice in the house, my brother. Good to see you as well. Let's just start off with a few quick things, okay? Number one, Panthers got some weird fans, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I do a lot of these videos and these reaction rants and things, and I put out my rant, and I got a lot of times you'll get opposing teams fans. They'll hop on. They'll say, hey, it's nothing but love from Houston. Hey, bro, out here from New York, I'll say this was a crazy game. Hey, this is a Bills fan. You took an L. It is what it is. But these Panthers fans, man, they came in here as if they just won the Super Bowl, yet I was saying our team was trash, and they were like, haha, your team is trash. And I'm like, that's what I said. Our team is trash. So why are you getting so hyped because you beat a trash team? And then they told me to keep pounding. And that's all they say is keep pounding, which is kind of weird, bro. Because I don't know if it's like this or some kind of stuff that like they do with each other. I don't know what goes on down in Carolina with the Panthers fans, but it was just a little bit weird. And I wanted you guys to know that. But how about the Miami Dolphins, man? Losing again, and this time to a team that's really not even good at all. And I think at this point, and I'll talk to G about this when I bring him out in a second, but there was definitely some creeping, and the creeping is still going on right now, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there was creeping about a narrative, okay? Like when we beat the Jets, who, by the way, are the worst team in football at 0-5, when we beat the Jets, those Tuaneers, those apologists, those mediocrity lovers, those guys were creeping. And you know those guys. We've talked about these guys. They're well known on this show. These guys were creeping, man. They were, I can't wait to beat Carolina. You guys beat the Jets. So great. They were creeping. And their narrative was about to take hold. Had we beaten Carolina, who's a bad football team, these guys would have came out full force with all these theories about how we're going to be great and all this other stuff. But since we lost, they're losing steam because this team, I told you in the offseason, I told you before the season even started, I've been telling you for a few years now, this team is not it. This quarterback, this coach, this GM, this roster, this scheme, even this D coordinator, they're not it, bro. And this now should put this to bed. But of course it didn't, because Tua's stat line was okay. Tua had an okay stat line. So these guys are still trying to say, hey, how about that defense, Larry K? How about that offensive line, Larry K? Good job, Larry K. What do you know about anything, Larry K? Well, I'm telling you right now, man. And Crazy Dolphin, welcome back to another Tuesday night show, the Two Guys with Glasses podcast. Good evening, Larry K. Everyone hit that like button. Subscribe and support the show. Let's go. Thank you very much for the love. But these guys are out of the woodwork because it's just sick. These people would rather spend the next 15 to 20 years in mediocrity as long as they could have their favorite guy on the field, instead of trying to get better and wanting to be better. So as much as it's sad, as much as it sucks to lose on a Sunday, it's probably for the better in the long run. It really is probably for the better in the long run. Trev Jew says, also, I told people that whatever happens with this team, it's all on Stephen Ross because of the letter he wrote last season. Sorry, owner, who refuses to make changes. Bro, I agree 150%. I've been saying Magoo's the problem. He hires terrible people. He doesn't know when to get involved and when to stay the heck out of it. It's just nothing but an absolute mess. And I want to draw your attention to somebody right before I bring G up. His name is Big O. And Big O has been out there. I heard him after the game. He's just piling on this Mike McDaniel. Oh, this Weaver, I knew the defense was going to suck. You got to get Weaver in it. Listen, I want to caution everybody out there in Dolphins land. I want to caution you. And look, if you've been listening to this channel long enough, and if you followed my takes along, and then you've seen what happens on the field, you should know that I'm almost somewhat of a soothsayer on here, not because I actually know anything from the inside or I actually have telepathic abilities. No, because it's not that hard to see what's going to happen with this team, what happens with narratives, what happens with society, what happens with organizations. I've been predicting things that are going to happen. Here's what you're going to start to see. If we keep losing, you are going to start to see people like Big O, people elsewhere in the South Florida media. They're going to start pounding, in the words of Panther fans, they're going to start pounding the table to get Mike McDaniel fired. Why, though? Why would they want Mike McDaniel fired so bad? I'll tell you why. This is going to be important, so take note of it. Hit the like button if you haven't done so more people could tune in and see what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say is really important. These guys are going to keep pounding the table to get Mike McDaniel fired. You know why? Because if Mike McDaniel gets fired and this team gets some kind of crazy spark, Kind of like the spark that UCLA got this weekend, beating Penn State with a new coach after being 0-4. They want the Dolphins to get some kind of Dan Campbell weird little spark from firing the head coach and plugging in a Weaver or somebody. Do you know why they want that spark? They want that spark so they can once again run it back and say, Tua just needs a new coach. You saw how they played once McDaniel was gone. Once McDaniel was gone, they got a spark. It was all McDaniel was the problem. We just got to retool and re-get some guys, and Chris Greer and Tua Tagovailoa, they're going to get it done. They're going to push for Mike McDaniel to get fired so that they can get a spark so they can make more excuses. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Stephen Ross did the right thing for once in his terrible tenure as the Dolphins owner. He did one right thing this offseason. Everybody wanted him to fire Chris Greer and give Mike McDaniel another chance, He usually would fire the GM, keep the coach, fire the coach, keep the GM, blah, 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 blah. He didn't do it. For once in his career, he didn't do it. He kept McDaniel, he kept Greer, he kept Tua. That was the right decision. You know why that was the right decision? Because unless they all go, keep them all. They should live and die, figuratively speaking, together. You don't stick a new GM with this quarterback. You don't stick this quarterback with a new coach. You don't stick a new coach with a new GM. You don't do any of that. Look at this guy. Adam Sadowski's been a member for 23 months. He's got something headed to him. He's that guy. He's a South Florida friggin' legend. And he's been a member for 23 months. This is a guy who's been listening to good takes and knows what's up for 23 months. I dapped this guy up and hung out with him down in Miami at a game 2 years ago when the Dolphins were actually relevant. That's my guy. Thank you for the ongoing support, my brother. It's much appreciated. But here's the deal. And Adam says it. Get rid of everybody. Start fresh. Adam, you're reading my mind, brother. You're reading my mind. As always, you're on point, brother. You know why? Because that's exactly what this team has to do. You've got to clean house. So I don't want, hear me out. I don't want Mike McDaniel fired at all during the season because I don't want any BS narrative to take hold. I don't want anybody associated with this current team to have a chance to take this thing over. I don't want any of that to happen. I want a clean start. I want a clean slate. And the best thing that can happen to the Dolphins at this point, if any of us truly actually want success, real success in the future, and really want to have meaningful games, we've got to keep losing this year because this regime is not going to take us where we want to go. So we've got to keep Mike McDaniel. We've got to keep this regime until the end of the year, then fire all of them at the end of the year. Fire Greer, fire McDaniel. Don't let me hear Big O and all the nonsense about the cap and the dead cap and keeping Tua. Tua's got to go too. You're spending the money whether he's here or not. Let him go. Let him go. And Chef Jew is co-signing because he knows it's true. That's it. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. So that's my take on it. Don't believe the narratives. There's a lot of fake nonsense out there. You got Rex Ryan memes and Stephen Ross letters. It's AI. It's nonsense. It's social media crap. Stop falling for that. Please stop sharing it on all these pages, will you? What do you guys think of this? Rex Ryan. What do you guys think of this? It's a new Ross letter. Stop. It's fake. Guys, you got to learn how to spot fakes already. This is ridiculous. And Chef Jew says it. I'm tired of it year after year. I want to get to meaningful games again. The only way to do that is to get rid of these guys. G, the legend, in the hoodie, in the sweatshirt. I know a bit of a buildup to get you on, but your rant is doing really well. Over 200 plays this week. People now on my rants are saying, where's G's rant? I came here for G's rant. I want G's rant. And then I hear the tailgate and I hear you go off on them. So they get the calmer G on this channel, which is still insane. But anyway, G, thoughts on the game, feelings on what I said in general. What are your feelings this week?
I was preparing some stuff. I with this team, I can't comprehend some stuff, but I'll start off saying this. I started the fever pitch quote. I'm going to say it right now. Guys, The Dolphins are always going to be for you. They'll never let you down. No matter if it's Thursday, Monday, Sunday, 105, 425, 8 o'clock. There's always a game. They'll always be there for you. And, yeah, this team sucks. Let's start with that. Yeah, Larry, I've been getting a lot of flack on Twitter and even on YouTube a little bit because I am blaming Tua for this loss. Now, Tua had an all right game. He had a solid game. It wasn't enough to win us the game, but I'm blaming Tua. Yeah, we know, guys, the O-line is garbage. The defense is garbage. But we have a franchise quarterback who's making $50 million. And there are going to be times where the O-line is bad. I mean, look at the Bengals. The Bengals have one of the worst O-lines. The Ravens O-line, I don't know how good it is, but Lamar Jackson always making plays. The Chiefs line at times. You know, I can go through all 32 teams. Not every team has linemen. The Chargers, they're down there.
No, they don't. Right.
The Chargers are down there 2 tackles. Slater's out for the year, and Joe Alt went down a few weeks ago. Everyone has a bad line. Defenses are going to give up big plays. It just so happens our defense. See, TD Phins Talk said it best. And I'm going to say it again here for you people. You have $10 to build your team. If you want an elite offense, that's going to cost you around $7. If you want an elite defense, that's going to cost you $7. And what the Miami Dolphins elected to do was spend $7 on an elite offense. Yeah, Tyreek's hurt. We know. But even with Tyreek, this offense looked bad. So we spent $3 on the defense. So we know this defense is trash. And everyone in this fan base, I love you all, but at the same time, I hate you all because you're all putting the blame. Yes, McGeek has his problems. The O-line's trash. The defense is trash. Chris Greer has missed on picks. But this clown at quarterback is not giving us the best shot at winning. You want to play big. If you want to win a Super Bowl, we need a quarterback that can do it. Playoffs, the Chiefs game. Yeah, it was frigid, but we need a leader. We need a guy that can overcome this, and we don't. And Tua's not the main problem. He's one of the problems. He's not. I guess we could say he's not like the main problem, but he's the problem. He's getting a piece of the blame pie. And
He is.
And Larry.
And not this game. He wasn't the problem, maybe, but he wasn't the solution.
Oh.
And he almost had a pick, and he's been the problem this year.
And Larry, if we would have won against the Panthers, everyone would be talking. And if the defense shut down the Panthers, if we won 40-0, and the defense shut down the Panthers, got another turnover, everyone on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook would be going Tua this. Even when we in the years prior, when our defense, Tua wasn't playing it and our defense was on, they were saying Tua. And you guess what? When we lose games, I'm blaming Tua. I'm gonna pull
fair is fair, bro.
Uno reverse card. Because if the Patriots, when they lose, they would come up here and 50% of the Patriot fans were blaming everyone else, but not Tom Brady. The other half were blaming Tom Brady. They were calling him out. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm sick of the excuses, guys. It's 6 years of this. Do we want better? Yes. We want to win playoff games. We want to win Super Bowls. But if you're going to keep buying this BS, Larry, I was preparing. I'll start with this. Larry, last week when we beat the New York Jets, who may be the worst team in football, they might go.
Definitely are. Come on.
They might go 0-17.
They're a disaster, bro. Their penalties, their disorganization. They're the worst football team.
They're the worst. Yeah, the Saints are up there, but they won it this week. But the Jets are whatever. I saw people out there saying we should trade for Max Crosby. We should go get A.J. Brown. We should go. I heard a rumor about Chris Olave. I mean, guys, go ahead, give up these picks for these guys, and it's gonna be the same result. Maybe we make the playoffs in 9-8. But and Larry, I thought we were up 17-0. Larry, I'm like, I was already prepping my rant. I was already ready to come on here, be sarcastic, and say, go get Brown, go get Olave, go get Max Crosby. Let's go for it. But that's not happening. We're up 17-0, and for an hour and a half, or what feels like 3 hours after we were up 17-0, it was like pouring. I wanted to pour bleach in my eye. I'm not even kidding, because we sat there, Larry, watching our offense punt, and our defense was doing enough. They got 2 turnovers. They were forcing the Carolina Panthers to get stops. Yeah. They were running the ball down our throat, but at some point our defense was gassed. The commentators were saying that in like the fourth quarter. And it took the Carolina Panthers taking a 2017 lead for our offense to finally wake up. You saw Tua had a great ball to Waddle for a touchdown, and we had the lead. And then, of course, our defense gets gassed because they were on the field too much. And I will say,
it's just, yeah.
I agree with McGeek punting the football there. We had 3 timeouts. The only issue I had, it took us like 40 seconds to get the punt team on the field. If McGee is a smart head coach, he would have been like, punt team, if we don't get it, get ready, go, 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 go. But since we took 30 seconds and our defense got to stop, it was just a ticky-tacky PI call. Now, if we got the ball back, I think Tua was going to throw a pick or take another sack.
Well, and you got to remember, he almost threw a pick when Waddle knocked the ball out, and I'm not the only one saying that. Anybody with 2 eyes and 2 ears and a brain saw that he would have thrown another pick, and the game would have gone out not with a whimper like it did. It would have gone out with another Tua pick, and no one would be saying that if Waddle hadn't gotten his hand in there. But, I want to watch something real quick with the people. And I want you guys out there, everybody out there who is watching and who thinks about this and who has watched football in their life, I want you to be realistic. And I want you to watch this highlight reel. And I want you to watch the situation in the game, because situational football matters. Who your opponent is matters. What the stakes are matter. And I want you to look at what you're seeing here is somebody who shined in the right moment in this coming of age against an absolute legend to kind of help hand that torch or share that torch. And I want you to legitimately tell me if you really think that Tua would be able to do this in any way, shape, or form in any of these serious plays. I want you to really watch the sequence that occurs here, the adversity, and what happens in this game. And tell me if you think our $50+ million quarterback could ever do either of the things that we're about to see.
Hey,
because this is heavyweights. We're going to watch.
Before you play the video,
yeah,
you mind sending me the link through messages, because my phone's about to die.
For what? You want the link for what?
Can you send me the link through the text messages so I can get it on?
Oh, yeah.
Because my phone's about to die here.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to play this, guys. I want you to watch this.
They fake it to Pacheco. Pressure on Mahomes. And did Brown get both feet down? He did. What a catch by Hollywood Brown.
I think the question is, was he bobbling it or did he have it firmly in his grip? And it looks to me like I thought it was.
2nd and goal from the 2. Hunt in for the touchdown.
So I want you to pay attention right here, okay? It is 27-24. There is 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. This is Patrick Mahomes. Most Dolphins fans, I don't care what you say, they would already be blaming the defense. Now, the Jags defense is respectable, and their coordinator is Campanelli, a guy who we all know, who I think is a great hard-nosed coach we have a lot of respect for. If this was the Dolphins, even though Mahomes is an incredible quarterback with a Super Bowl rings to his name, who has gotten quicker than most people, has gotten to, stat marks that many people took more years to get to, the Dolphins fan base would be blaming the defense already, and they would already give up, because right after this happened, down 27-24, it's going to be 28-24, down by 4 points with over a minute left, the Dolphins fan base would already be blaming the defense. And once Tua threw an interception or took a sack or fell and tripped, some guy tripped them, they would be saying, well, look at the defense, blame the defense. The defense didn't get it done. But that's not what the Jaguars did against one of the best quarterbacks in the game. This is what the Jaguars and their quarterback did. I want you to pay attention and be honest with yourself if you really think the Dolphins quarterback and who they have at the helm could do this.
Patrick Mahomes knowing exactly what it was that he needed to do. They took over.
On 2nd down and 4, Lawrence able to outrun Jones. And now brought down.
Offensive line, not looking great. Dolphins fans would already be blaming them. Tua would already be shaking his head at the offensive line.
By Leo Chanel.
Larry, if I could point out something real quick, too.
Yeah.
If we were the Chiefs and Jason Sanders kicked that ball out of bounds, they would be wanting that man to the cross.
Yes. Yeah. And let's keep watching.
Lawrence for Thomas. Oh, he dropped it in. Catch is made.
I couldn't tell if it was Karlaftis that got the pressure on him or not, but he was under duress in the pocket. And for a guy who has struggled in the early part, right here off the edge, but you see Lawrence, he has to kind of hang in there.
Look at that guy running right at Lawrence in his face. The offensive line let the edge rusher almost completely free. Lawrence had to throw off his back foot, and he still makes that excellent throw. No one's crying about the O-line. There's no excuses.
And delivers this ball. Brian Thomas, I mentioned he's had some issues with drops and struggled a little bit in the early part.
Lawrence, De'Ami Brown, another good throw. On first down, late pressure. Lawrence was hit, and the Jaguars looking for a flag with De'Ami Brown, the intended target. Extra men on the rush, blitz. Lawrence floats it, end zone, and a goal with 30 seconds left. Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up, breaks a tackle, touchdown Jacksonville.
The center, I think, steps on his foot, or the guard. It's the right guard. That's what happens. Steps on his right foot as he's trying to come out, and it looked like he was dead in the rights. And here they all come. He looked like Earl Campbell getting out of there.
I want you guys to understand right now and keep it 100% real, okay? There is no way that Tua would have done what that man just did. And this fan base, if a guard on the Dolphins let a free rusher go off the edge and Tua did not drop a dime, they would blame the O-line. If a guard stepped on Tua's foot and Tua went down, first of all, you know what Tua would have done? He would have dropped the ball and thrown it in the air, and it would have stumbled behind them. But they would blame that guard. And they would say, how can you blame the quarterback when the guard stepped on his foot? Well, you can't blame the quarterback. But if your quarterback is getting paid like a top 5 player at his position, you expect your quarterback to be able to carry a team and make chicken salad out of chicken-ish when the game calls for it. This young man, Trevor Lawrence, was able to, despite a line collapsing on itself, despite being stepped on and falling, was able to collect himself and will his team to victory. He was able to make something out of broken plays time and time again with the pressure on against maybe the best quarterback in football and one of the best teams currently in football. In a pressure situation in prime time, he was able to do those things. If your quarterback is getting paid $50+ million and everybody's on his jock and constantly saying he's game-changing, he's a legend, he's great, he's got to be able to do that at least once in a blue moon. I do not recall Tua ever doing anything at the level of that drive the entire time he's been here for 6 years. Carrie D's in the house, another Fury fan member. Carrie D, always repping, always spitting truth. Carrie, we love to see you. Says, what a flaming dumpster fire of a year, but the Phin-Addict Fury family is on point. It's so nice to join everyone live tonight, and it's so nice that you're with us, Carrie D. G, what do you think of those highlights?
What I think, I'm going to say this. I believe Trevor Lawrence is on the same pay scale as Tua. I believe either Tua's making more than him or Lawrence making more than him. So you got the same situation there. What I think of seeing that, I was jumping up and down when Trevor Lawrence got that in because I had the Jaguars plus 3.5 yesterday. But let's be real. I think the Jaguars kind of got a little help. There was a ticky-tacky PI call, kind of makes up for the call earlier, but that kickoff by Bucker got the drive started. But if we're looking at those plays made, take away those plays I just mentioned, Trevor Lawrence locked in, and he got the job done. He was doing what a franchise quarterback did. He was slipping and sliding, but he eventually got up. His lineman did a great job blocking, and he found a way to get in. Brian Thomas Jr., what a dot there to him. It's just, if it was the Dolphins and things didn't go our way, we always point the finger. It's annoying. It's 6 years of this, and we're still blaming O-line, defense, head coach, and the GM. Now, I do think yeah, our defense and O-line suck, and our GM has made a lot of mistakes, and our coach is a complete another clown. But, we did this same stuff with Tannehill. We blame Philbin, we blame the O-line, we blame the defense. Gase comes in, we were blaming Gase, we were blaming Tannenbaum. Now with Tua, we blame Flores. We were blaming the defense. We're blaming the O-line. And I believe it or not, you guys, I want to bring this up now because we keep these fanboys keep blaming the O-line. I could be wrong. There's two things I'm going to say here. Number one, I believe it's a statistic that Tua does better with less time than more time. Number two, I believe Tua went up to the podium in front of the media and says, I get the ball out quick. So right there, they're just saying, we don't need an O-line kind of basically. I get the ball out quick. And you're still out here asking Chris Grier to go out and get all pros. Even Mike McGeek said Chris Grier wanted to get more O-linemen, but Mike McGeek's like, the O-line's fine. So why are we blaming the O-line? I'm sick of the excuses, guys. I'm just done with this BS. I'm ready for this season to be over. I'm a little worried, Larry, because people are saying Tua might be here next year. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not signing up for another year. I will not watch. I will actively boycott. I'm not watching this guy. I want Zach Wilson. I'm sure we're going to talk about these rumors we heard today, Larry, but.
Yeah, and I want to say another thing, too. I want to show another this is what would happen if Tua got stepped on. We've seen it 1,000 times. This fumble's representative of many fumbles we've seen from him. Just take it.
That's not going to cut it for Miami's offense. Tua in trouble. He lost the football, and the Colts have it. And it's the former Dolphins.
It's just constant. The way that he loses the football in those situations, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Chuck says, he disagrees. Tua's first showdown with Kyler Murray was one of his finest games. Yeah, it's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is not Patrick Mahomes. That game was not at prime time with, down by 4 with less than a minute left, getting stepped on and running into the end zone. It was a good game. It was a nice game. He went tit for tat with Kyler Murray. He had some nice throws. It was a nice game, but that season still ended in failure. And that game is, 6 years ago? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? We're still talking about that game as his best game? Who cares? Who cares? Where does that hold a candle to Trevor Lawrence's performance against Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football? Who cares? Great performance, I agree. But the guy's been playing 6 years, and we're still pointing to Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals? Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Now, maybe that gets you average QB play. Maybe that gets you slightly above average QB. Maybe that gets you slightly above average QB money. But top, right there with Lawrence, a little bit less than Lawrence, that's what that gets you? No, I don't want to talk about Arizona all those years ago. Yeah, break. Gee, what are you talking about? What rumor?
So, Larry, apparently, I don't know if you were on Twitter today, but I saw a bunch of rumors. I don't know. Again, these are rumors. They're not 100% true. We don't know if they're true. But apparently, Larry, there are 3 big rumors going on. This Sunday, if we lose to the Chargers, there's a chance Mike McGee gets fired. Now, I hope so, because I want Jim Harbaugh. I want the Chargers to beat us. I want Jim Harbaugh to stick it to Ross. I want Jim Harbaugh to score 70 points and then kick the field goal. I want Justin Herbert I want Herbert to show these bums, Grier, why they should have drafted him over Tua. That's what I want. Now, that's one rumor. Second rumor is apparently Chris Grier, we already know this, he's pretty much safe. There's a chance that even if McGee goes, Christopher's still staying. I also started something where Grier might get fired too, but I don't know how true that is. But with the Flores case going on, I could see Grier not going anywhere. I want him gone. We need a fresh change. But again, we'll see what happens. The third rumor, Larry, and I hate this rumor because I don't know how it will go, but apparently if McGee does get fired this Sunday after the Chargers, Rex Ryan could be the interim head coach.
So I think the last one is just ridiculous. Unless this is some Jim Irsay thing, with Saturday. I just don't see it. I don't think Rex wants to come back under those circumstances. Maybe to prove something because he's itching to come back that bad. I know he was gunning for the Jets job last year. He loves the Jets. I don't know if he loves the Dolphins the same way as he loves the Jets. And I think Rex, he's just older, and I think it's passed him by. I think if Ross were to do something like that, hey, it's outside the box, and I'd give him some credit for being just whacked out. But I don't think it happens. I don't know about the rumor with Mike McDaniel. I will say, as I just said, I don't think it's a good move. I think anything that reroutes this team and gives them a spark and changes around anything and gives these people an opportunity for another false narrative is just another chance to kick the can down the road once again and not make any serious and significant changes. I just don't see how you keep Greer at the end of this year, you keep this iteration. So I think firing McDaniel makes no sense because once you fire him, what's the point? You're still going to fire the GM. The new GM's still going to want to make a hire. What do you achieve by firing McDaniel? Just let this ship go down. It's not like this season is going to be salvage. It's not like, and even if we turn it around and win a couple games, it's not like you're going to go to the playoffs. It's not like you're going to make a run to the Super Bowl. So, Ross probably would do something like that just to appease fans, just because he's not thinking. But I think it's the wrong move. And I will say, I just hope that he sticks to the guns he stuck to in the offseason when he didn't let go of one or the other and just wait till the end of the season and clean house. But I don't know. Let's see. Somebody did report here that Schefter reported that McDaniel's not going anywhere. Things can change week to week. Chuck Cooper's making some good points in the chat, so I just want to address it. Chuck says, Larry, my point was that Tua had it, and he regressed substantially since the concussions. He's playing with scrambled brains. Look, I don't know that Tua ever had it, to be completely dead honest with you. But here's my thing. If we're at a point where we're all agreeing that the dude doesn't have it now, then I'm cool with whatever rationale you want to have. If you want to say you knew from jump he didn't have it, if you want to be like me and say you go back to Alabama and he had some skill, but he never came through in the big games except for one when he had a pick and a touchdown pass and everybody saying his praises. If you want to say it's because of the concussions, you want to say it's because whatever it is, as long as you're where I'm at, which is we got to turn the page and we got to change, I'm cool with whatever your underlying rationale is. So, Chuck, if that's your rationale, that's cool. I get it. And I appreciate the conversation too, my brother. I got nothing against he says Greer is the problem. And, look, Brad Holmes is killing it with his picks. Do we pick from that tree? I think the answer is yes. I think if I'm Ross, look, I know a lot of people want big names that have been successful in the past. There's a lot of nostalgia. They look at these guys like, what about this guy who used to have success, Gruden and this and that. If you look around the league, Vrabel, I think, is a different story because he stopped at one place, was pretty successful, didn't get it done ultimately, goes right to the next spot, which is his alma mater, the team that he played for years. I think Vrabel's an exception, and it's sad to see. I don't know if anybody saw that the Patriots beat the Bills.
Yep, I did. I had the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots beat the Bills.
7.5.
There you go, G. Patriots beat the Bills, and they may have already surpassed us in their rebuild.
Yep.
I was worried.
They're already back, Larry. Patriot fans are already talking about their back already.
Yeah, I was.
And I was telling people it took the Patriots 5 years to be back, and I had the Dolphins. They couldn't give me anything in 5 years. Now we're back. The Patriots are back. But I do want to say, Larry, I'm with you. I hate Mike McGee. I can't stand watching him on the sidelines anymore. I want him gone. But I'm okay waiting until the end of the year. I don't want a spark. I'm with you. I don't want this team to have any life. I just want the top 5 draft pick. I don't want to have any of these Tuniers have an excuse going into next year.
Yeah, I just don't.
As far as Ryan goes, if he was to be the interim, as long as he benches Tua, I'm fine with it. If he's going to continue to play Tua, then no. But yeah, I want the new GM to decide who the coach is, and I'm on board with bringing Anthony Campanelli. Will he work out? Who knows? But that's a coach I would want to play for. I think he could be a Dan Campbell, Brian Flores type coach because Flores got this team playing. This team has no heart. They have no soul. I want Anthony Campanelli as our next head coach. I think, even if we're going to, run it back, per se, if that's what we're going to do, just without McGeek, Anthony Campanelli's know most of these players. Maybe Phillips and Chubb, maybe they wake up. Phillips, I'm not paying him the money, but we'll see, man. I at the end of the day, ride this wave until you can't. And I feel like, Larry, whatever Stephen Ross decides, whether he wants to be patient, this fan base ain't going to be happy no matter what. I mean, if we keep McGeek, to the end of the year and keep Greer to the end of the year, I think the fan base is erupting already. I think if we cut Tua, some of this fan base will be happy. Some of this fan base will be like, the grass isn't always green. I feel like whatever Stephen Ross decides, whether he fires them both now or waits, I feel like this fan base, no matter what happens, nothing's going to make them happy. If we get a first-year head coach, Larry, or if we get a first-year head coach, a lot of people want to experience. If we get a first-year head coach, or if we get a John Gruden, Rex Ryan, or a Tomlin, or a Harbaugh, because John Harbaugh and Tomlin, they might get fired. I don't know about Tomlin because I think the Steelers are winning that division with ease. If they lose in the playoffs, maybe. But like at the same time, I feel like nothing will make this fan base happy. That's why I feel like if we change quarterback, maybe we get a quarterback in the draft, maybe we get a spark. Again, I just feel like nothing will please this fan base, no matter what Stephen Ross does.
Yeah, and it shouldn't at this point because they suck. I want to get to some member comments real quick. Rex's personality sucks, but his teams were tough, and he actually knows how to be a head coach. Don't love it, but could grow to love it if he built a team of bullies like he did in New York. Phil, I understand what you're saying. I actually wanted Rex back in the day when he went to Buffalo. He didn't work out in Buffalo. I thought we missed the boat there. I think we missed the boat on Vrabel, but he was going to New England anyway. We'll see what happens. I think Rex, the ship has sailed. He's just too old, doesn't have it anymore.
Before you get to Kyrie D's comment here, Larry, I want to say this. There's a reason why, we suck. There's a reason why the Panthers, they beat us, but I don't think Bryce Young's any good. I don't think they're going to win anything. But you can throw the Panthers, you got the Saints in that category, the Browns, the Jets, and maybe some other teams. The reason why these teams suck is they don't have a quarterback. Greg, who are you going to get for quarterback? Doesn't matter. Just keep drafting quarterback to hit. Let's look at these quarterbacks. What were the Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes? They had Alex Smith. They were just going to the wild card and getting bounce. Look at the Steelers. Before they had Rodgers. It's still out, but their Rodgers is doing better than what they got. Big Ben, what were the New England Patriots before Tom Brady? The Chiefs. The Lions. What were they before Matt Stafford? You just look at these teams that suck. They get a quarterback, and now they're moving trajectory. The Jacksonville's got a quarterback. What were they before Trevor Lawrence? If we suck and we have a top 5, you have to take a quarterback.
You 100% do. And I'd love to have a top pick.
I don't care. I don't care who the quarterback at this rate is. And they may, whatever they do in college, whatever. They may suck. Who knows? I want the quarterback to play from all 17 games. And you don't spend a dime. You keep this roster, you keep the O-line. I want to see how they do with this team, because if they can do look at Jaden Daniels last year. That's another example. I forgot about him. If you get a quarterback like Jaden Daniels then you can start investing in the quarterback. I'd rather find the quarterback first before we start building around. Look at what happened. Tua sucks, and we build a team, and now we're going to be going negative. And listen, I want to rebuild. I'm excited for the rebuild, but I absolutely hate that we're rebuilding again, because I called this thing from day one. I knew this franchise would be ruined. I would have to go find receipts on TD's channel, because I know I was a big proponent of not tanking for Tua. I wanted to tank for Lawrence.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I wanted to pick up a different player and then wait a year and get Lawrence. I really did. I thought that was the right move. They felt they had to please the fan base. We've never turned back. I can't wait till it's over because I can't stand these guys anymore. Carrie D says, I think the Dolphins can clean house and still live in mediocrity. I don't think they're serious about being something other than prima donnas. I want to prove me wrong, but they're poodles. That's on Stephen Ross. He's got to do better.
I think I said it too. I think we're with this fan base, honestly, with Tua. And I just think we're out here trying to prove narratives and not win football games. Because if we were serious about winning football games, we would have listened to Brian Flores and gone and get Deshaun Watson or drafted Justin Herbert or traded for Lamar.
Yeah, and
frankly, Larry, now everyone's starting to realize what I've been realizing since day one, and now it's too little, too late. And there's no other options. We had a shot at drafting Herbert, failed. Could have got now Watson again. Yeah, Watson's a bum, but maybe history changes. We don't know with Flores and whatnot. If we could have traded for Lamar, now there's no options. Who are you going to get? Kyler Murray out of Arizona? You're going to go draft one, and even these QBs, they don't look good right now in the draft.
No, I agree with that. But I'll say this: when people are talking about the GM and the coach and all that, People are so hung up on these names. They're looking at these older names who used to have success. Most of these guys, you go down the list, most of these guys that are retreads that had success in the past, when you try to plug them back in, especially when you try to plug these guys back in and give them all the power. Bill Parcells used to say, I can't cook the meal if you don't let me buy the groceries. And all these guys, they get all this clout because they used to have success, and then they come into these teams like the Dolphins, and the Dolphins give them all this power, and everybody expects them to repeat the same success they used to have. We saw it in Green Bay. We saw it in Dallas. We see it everywhere, and it doesn't always work. So if you're asking me, who do I bring in? I don't bring in a GM who's done it 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't bring in a head coach who did it 10, 15 years ago. Unless you're trading for Andy Reid right now, the way the Dolphins traded for Don Shula from the Colts back in early 70s, unless you're going to trade for a guy at the peak of his game now, which we all know is not going to happen, then you're going to have to go out and get somebody who's hard-nosed and is up and coming. And what I like is looking at a team. Somebody mentioned the KC. Somebody mentioned the Lions. What I do is I go and look for somebody who's a top deputy, because you got to understand, there is not one successful organization in the history of mankind that doesn't have at least 2 to 3 deputies. It could be a country's leadership. It could be a general in the military. It could be a head coach in football. It could be a GM. It could be a CEO. It could be a CFO. It could be a principal of a school. It could be a showrunner, a director. I don't care who it is. Every single successful person in human history has at least 2 to 3 deputies. Directors have cinematographers, sound guys. Head coaches have coordinators. GMs have scouts. Every successful organization has 2 to 3 deputies. You've got to go out and look at the most successful organizations right now and pinpoint their best deputy, the guy that's really going to sting to lose. You pinpoint that deputy, whether he's in Detroit, whether he's in KC, wherever he is, you pinpoint one of those deputies and you hire that guy and you let him run the show. Once you hire him, Ross, you get the hell out of his way. He doesn't have meetings with Garfinkel about logos and prom nights at the friggin' stadium. He doesn't have to answer to Ross and check in. Ross doesn't sit in on the head coach interviews. Ross doesn't meet with the head coach. No. You hire this deputy from one of these successful teams, and you let this guy make the hires. You let him live and die for 5 years. You give him a hard cap of 5 years. You show me something in 5 years. That's plenty long enough in this league. You got plenty of leeway. You show me something. You hire the coach. You pick the players. I'll stay the hell out of your way the entire time. And you hire one of those guys, and you get it done. And when you're looking for a head coach, you get a guy who's a leader of men who has respect around the league, because it doesn't matter how good he is with the X's and O's. That's another thing. Enough of all these offensive-minded X's and O's guys as head coaches. You pick a guy who can lead men, who can run an organization as a manager, and that guy will go out and get the X's and O's people on both sides of the football because he's got the experience and the prestige where other guys want to work for him. Mike McDaniel could have been a good coordinator, but not a head coach. You get a guy with strong, hard-nosed work ethic, who people respect, who motivates a team, and he will go out and make his hires, and you stay the hell away from him and let him make those hires. And Stephen Ross should do nothing but show up in the box, hand out game balls, wave to the crowd, and sit back and drink a friggin' champagne cocktail and stay out of it. That's what you do. And if I doubt that this organization listens to me, but you Fury fan members out there, you can't say I'm not cooking. You can't say I don't know what I'm talking about, and you can't say I haven't been saying this for years. Stephen Ross needs to let this ship sink this year, get the highest draft pick possible, and do exactly what I said. That's what he needs to do.
And Larry, I don't know if you heard this, but shout out Lewis from the Blix Picks Up. He was at the game. So apparently, I don't know if you heard this, but Chris Greer, I believe Tom Garfinkel, and Stephen Ross, I believe when we took the lead, or no, they were down there 2017. We scored. They were all celebrating. But once the Panthers or Tua took the sack on 3rd and 10, apparently Ross was walking by himself. So I don't know if maybe Ross is opening his eyes and realizing, man, these guys have ruined my team or something. I don't know, but I don't think Greer's going anywhere because with the Flores case going on, I think he's going to be safe. If anything, you could see Greer get moved up a position.
Look, if they want to put Greer somewhere in the background and Greer's down with that, that's fine. But in my personal opinion, I just think the evidence is clear out there in the league that Chris Greer isn't getting it done. There's plenty of reason to think that. Most people realize Tua's not getting it done. The roster has been poorly constructed. As far as I know, Greer, I'm sure Ross had something to do with it, but you can always scapegoat the GM. Greer was the one who let certain guys walk, signed other guys to contracts who were injury prone, signed Tua Tagovailoa to a long-term contract when he had a fifth-year option, which has turned out to be a disaster. Some guys in the media are starting to point that out and keep it real. And I think there's plenty of blame to go around where Chris Greer can be rightfully fired and no one's going to cry about it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I just do. Crazy Dolphin, thank you so much for the super chat. You know I'm cooking. You know I'm out here trying to cook. I'm going to have to cut that little segment out and put it as a standalone because, look, that's the plan. And Crazy Dolphin, thank you so much for noticing it. Thank you for the props. Thank you for the donation. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. You got to make decisions. If Ross is such a good CEO and he's had so much success, then he should know what he doesn't know. And he doesn't know how to make hires and get into the minutia of running an NFL franchise. He needs to hire the right people and step aside. And he needs to also look in the mirror. Who has been advising Ross? Because whoever's been advising him for all these years is probably somebody he should stop taking advice from.
Yeah.
If it's Garfinkel or whoever it is, he needs to stop listening to him. I do think he had the right idea initially in bringing Greer up and letting, trying to tank and let Greer hire his guy. But then he meddled. He got involved. He got rid of Flores. He talked to Flores. He met Brady on a boat. And everything went awry after that, too. I mean, because he didn't let him finish the rebuild.
And again, that's when I thought things were finally changing. I believed in Greer. And I thought Ross was turning a new lease. I started to believe in him. I believed in Greer. Now, when we hired Flores, I was against the hire because I thought it was going to be another Patriot, Bill Belichick disciple flaming out. But then Flores won me over, and then I thought we were finally doing good. Then we drafted Tua over Herbert, which kind of put a somewhat dent on there for me because I never believed in Tua going back to college. And then, when we were finally, after that Patriot game, I was celebrating. It's the final game with Tua. We're going to get Watson in the offseason, and we're going to turn this ship around again. We don't know if Watson would have been a bum coming to Miami. I think again, I'm going to keep reiterating, we can't change history. We can't go back in time. We can say this stuff. We don't know if it would work out or not work out. But Watson playing in front of Marino with Coach Flo, who believes in him, and I think he believes in Flo, maybe things are different. If the San Francisco 49ers didn't block us from getting Mike McGeek, I think things are way different. It's funny how the 49ers blocked Mike McGeek from interviewing for an OC job when Flores is here, but they'll let him go be a head coach from us. I find that very suspect from the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, you remember too. I don't think they can block promotions. They can only block laterals. But
yeah, I don't know
because he was a co-coordinator in San Fran. They could block it, which is just BS. It really is. And Cap, I agree. Cap said before we got to take this team back from the media. I agree, but the media has to also start.
Yeah, the media. I'm sorry, Larry. This media team's a joke. Joe, if we need a clean house with the GM, we need to clean this media team out. I mean, dude, on Twitter, Joe Shadid out here keeping a fun of the tankathon thing with the tankathon thing, and then he wants to say we can go on a run here. Like, what are we doing? Are we tanking? Or are we going on a run? And these guys don't even ask. They are soft. They don't ask any hard questions.
It's just
I hate our media team, the way they cover this team. And then Omar Kelly's feeling his Tua nonsense.
He's been, Omar Kelly, it's funny because he's the first guy who said a while ago, this was probably 4 years ago, where he reported that somebody in the locker room said, well, if those guys are out there doing what they're doing and this guy is our guy, how are we supposed to win? Now, all of a sudden, Omar is Mr. Go to bat for Tua. And you don't leave that. I got so tired of Omar's. You don't leave your wife, your fiance at the altar and say, I'm looking for another girlfriend. That's such a corny little analogy. They got to get off it. They got to be harder on the team. You got these fluffers like Big O. They got to let go. Carrie D says, I swear the market is a horror movie. Carrie, I completely and utterly agree with you. That just, in my opinion, shows you, though, what the culture of the Dolphins is and how bad it is when the leader of your franchise, the leader of your team, is out there during a contract negotiation. A lot of these guys just don't talk to the media. They let their agent do the talking. They don't show up. They do whatever they're going to do. Tua goes out there and says the market is the market. Like, you could sense in his response and in his words that he had some resentment, that he had some entitlement, that he felt that a personal affront, like the market is the market. I'm going to get paid, instead of being a team player or like, hey, the results speak for themselves. The team feels a certain way and I feel a certain way, and my agent's going to continue to negotiate. But my goal is to be back here with the guys and get to work on a championship. That's not what he said. What he said is the market is the market, like then he comes out after getting that contract. And the first thing he says to the fans is not, you ready to go start winning? You ready to go out there and lay it on the line? No, what he went out there and said was, show me the money. It's all about his personal celebrity.
And our fans ate that up. And again,
ate it up.
And once Tua got, again, I'll say, I think this fan base cares more about proven narratives. They like to go out and attack Chris Sims when he was bashed Tua. I forget who else they went at. These people go after certain people in the media because they are attacking Tua. Again, we're proven errors. Once Tua got paid, it felt like a win for those people. I mean, I'm glad Tua got paid for him, the person, because now when we get rid of him, he'll at least. This is why I don't feel bad when Tua or McGeek or Greer. I mean, these guys, they're going to be financially cast to play. I don't hate these individuals personally. I just hate them on my football team, and I hate their football takes, I guess we can say. But they're going to be financially stable. That's why when McGeek was walking back, did you see that video of McGeek?
Yeah.
I was laughing. This is karma. I mean, he went to bat for Tua. This is what you get, McGeek.
Yes.
And when he gets I do think he'll get another head coaching job. He'll hopefully learn his lesson.
No, it's true, and it's they're good for life, so I don't feel bad. I mean, the ridicule is what it is, but at the end of the day, man, like what shows about this culture is, I understand that the new youth culture, in a lot of ways, it's hard to sidestep. Everybody's a brand. Everybody's branding themselves. I mean, even I am with this show and whatever else. Everybody is seeking some type of notoriety. And we all can be reflective and understand that us as a society and us as these generations are seeking notoriety, but still have values and still put group above you and still put some thought and reflection into the people that pay your salary. And the fact that people are spending arm and a leg and a tooth and a nail just to go to a game, just to get a soda, just to get a beer at a game. And for you to go out there and say the market is the market and show me the money when you haven't done anything or accomplished anything for this fan base or this franchise that really means anything, I think it's a real problem. And I just think it's not necessarily all Tua's fault. It's indicative of this culture in Miami, which has devolved into a haven for players who want to come, make money, chill, have their own brand, and not really care about the direction or the pride of the franchise. And it's just tough. And Carrie D says, too many poodles in the stands. They're fine with mediocrity as long as they give a few biscuits here and there. And that's a shame. And that's why, Carrie D, they didn't get a biscuit beating Carolina. And so I think that's probably a better thing. If they had gotten that biscuit, they might be satisfied, which is an absolute and utter joke. An absolute and utter joke. And Cav says, preach Larry, they cannot blame the fans for this dysfunction. It's 100% true. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they owe it to us. Tua owes it to us. The management owes it to us. I'm just hoping that Magoo doesn't do something stupid and change his narrative. The media has got to continue to hold this franchise's feet to the fire. You as fans have got to continue to hold this franchise's feet to the fire, because I'm sick of doing these shows just ranting and raving about all the things I hate. I want to get back to talking about football games and predicting games and games that matter, because Dolphins are contenders. I want to get back to a real football show where we're reviewing film and we're talking about different players and whether we should play this or run that, or how our defense matches up with this team or that team, or whether we're going to get home field advantage in the playoffs and what's our best playoff matchup. I'm sick of this. This is just boring now. It's repetitive and redundant, and I'm over it.
I'm over it too, Larry. I want to get back to actually rooting for my team to win.
Yeah. So, guys, look, this is where we're going to be at. I mean, any thoughts on the upcoming game? Chargers coming in?
I will say this. Depending on how we lose, if we get blown out, I think McGee gets fired. If we somehow keep it close, maybe Ross will somehow still be patient, or maybe he'll wake up. But we'll see what happens, honestly. I do want Jim Harbaugh to stick it to Ross because, guys, remember, we could have had Jim Harbaugh, but, Ross wanted to keep him at Michigan. Plus, he also wanted the new head coach. He said, the new head coach picks the quarterback. It was a load of BS. He wanted the new coach to come work with the quarterback. That's why we don't have Harbaugh. So I kind of want to see Harbaugh stick it to us. I kind of would love to see a record broken this weekend. But, I'm over the BS. I want the Chargers to win to help us with the top 5 draft pick. Maybe we see a Zach Wilson sighting this week. That's what I'm kind of hoping on. Listen, if Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback, my joy would be rejuvenated because I'm done watching this guy play football. I don't want to sit there go up 17-0 on the Chargers and then sit there for 3 hours watching my offense, better than our defense, go out there and keep punting, wearing our defense down, and all of a sudden they take a 24-17 lead, and then now we're offense week. I'm done. I'm sick of it. But the end is near, guys. The end is almost near. The future is always bright. And I'm ready. Even though it sucks that I'm right. I've been right since day one. It sucks. It pains me. And it sucks that we're rebuilding again. But, if it has to take 6 years for people to wake up to this nonsense, because time always tells. And time is almost telling. And, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So, guys, I think the Chargers are a better team than us. They haven't done.
There's no way the Chargers lose 3 straight, right?
It's going to be tough. But the Chargers are beatable, and we'll see. They're coming to Miami, so we'll see what happens. Another early day game, I think, and it's going to be a regular Sunday. So strap in and watch, and let's see what happens. I do think the Chargers, they see us as a get-right game. It probably should be a get-right game. It's hard to be confident in really much of anything with the Miami Dolphins right now. I hope they fly another banner to fire everybody. Speak with your pockets. Don't buy a bunch of merchandise. Don't go. It's time to turn.
Larry, I don't think we'll see a sellout crowd on
Nor should you.
Sunday. I think we might see an empty stadium, kind of.
Yeah, and you should. But guys, I'll be ranting after. G will be ranting after. Make sure you join. Become a member to see my weekly column. That'll come out later this week. Every week I write something to members only. Click subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Make sure you share this channel and this show with your friends and family. Anybody who you think needs to join Fury Fam and be informed and objective, that's what we do on this channel. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for joining tonight, for commenting, for giving props, for your donations, your likes, and your subscriptions. You are what keeps Fury Fam running. So we got nothing but love for all of you guys. And until after this game, we will talk to you later. Fins up even when they're down. We're out.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.